Matt, I've got to ask you the state of South African football. Um, how can we fix it? How can we make it better? What's your feeling on
Wow, where do I start? I think if we consider that we're still quite new to this game, on the international scene at
Yeah.
least, we've actually done very well. 96, who would have thought after such a short period that we would have been kings of Africa? But I think we've had a steady decline since then, which is worrying. I think whenever you professionalize a sport, there are certain dangers that come with it. I think people try to get into the game for the wrong reasons. I think politicians have a place in our game,
Yeah.
but they should be limited in what sort of effect they have.
Yeah.
And from a development point of view, I think we focus too much on Bafana Bafana and the PSL. I think when you want to generate good products in the game, we have to really roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty at grassroots. And grassroots is a term that is used far too often. But having grown up in Cape Town and also lived and worked in Johannesburg and been fortunate enough to travel extensively through South Africa and through the continent, I've realized that organized football there's not enough organized football. You can travel outside of Johannesburg 10, 15 minutes and there's no organized football. Everything is quite centralized as well. All the talent kind of gets drawn to our metros
Yeah.
of Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg, and that shouldn't be the case. There should be centers of excellence spread around the country. So that's one aspect. That's one very important aspect which I think we have to work on.
Yeah, Matt, I've always felt it's, and you touched on it earlier when you spoke about the local politician at Rostov or wherever. Administratively, I believe that's where the problems start.
Yeah.
I've always said what you see happening on the field is a clear reflection of what's happening in the boardroom. And my personal feeling here is I think we've gone backwards, mainly as a result of that. I think some people get involved in football for the wrong reasons. People want to own clubs because they think they get their grants every month and, but there's so much more. And I don't think we're looking ahead, like you say, at these centres of excellence spread around the country.
Yeah, I think people on social media they always complain about Bafana's performance, of late. There's not a lot of confidence with regards what's happening there. But I encourage those very same people, to get involved with your local LFA club. Go down to your amateur club.
Yeah.
And you will see very quickly what the real problem is with our football. And the petty politics that is involved in those kinds of organizations, that is filtered down from the top, from our very top echelons, our top politicians, our football people. It's filtered all the way down into the lower levels of society. And go get involved with those types of organizations and you'll be able to see. So, if you have your heart in the right place and you really want football to change, go and volunteer there and try and change the mindset within that organization. It's not going to happen at the top. And we're not going to affect change at the top, unfortunately. A lot of people also say, why doesn't Lucas get involved in football? Or why doesn't Booth get involved with football? Why isn't Mark Fish involved administratively? Well, unfortunately, the people who are running our football are very protective of their territory. They're not going to welcome somebody in or encourage somebody to get involved if they're extremely protective of that
If it means
organization.
basically their slice gets less.
Yeah. So, we can play the long game and we can get involved with our local clubs and then become the chairman and then become president of the LFA, but that will take,
Yeah.
decades before you can get to the top. Or you can set up your own parallel organization and run your programs, your football programs, and run it transparently, and hopefully then attract corporates and your own mother body to the table. But yeah, there's no quick fix, unfortunately.
Don't forget, Gloves Off with Deshi Back Tower. Please subscribe.